All right, and so we're back. We just finished race one of three. Ian, tell us a little bit about what you saw out there and what to expect going into race two.
Right, yeah, I think much as we spend a long time talking about, Brands Hatch is a difficult circuit, and it's what we saw. No big damage, but just about everybody struggling with the corners, the way the corners lack grip on the exit, how you get on the brakes, all of these things. But the big thing is they all got round. Everything was really good. I think I'm really looking forward to this second one because I think we're gonna see another little movement forward. I think Ben did an extremely good job at the front. We're lacking Nelson Mason, our pro guy, with a couple of issues. He may be out this time, and hopefully he will. And we had to make a quick switch with Alicio. Is now driving the black and gold car. Alicio's out of Italy, which is great. And so they've managed to regroup, and that's one of the great things I think with this platform we work on. That if anybody has a real serious problem, we can actually switch cars. So for me, we're going back a few years, and when you could put a driver in another car. So really pleased that he's back out, and yeah, bring the next one on. Great.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just getting notified that our drivers are getting settled in, getting ready for their second race. So we're excited to bring you another race here shortly. As we mentioned before, over the course of three races, you see people progress, apply learnings. In a real race, how do you get that communication and that feedback to your drivers?
Yeah, I mean, in a real race, you have radio communication, so you could talk through a driver. I mean, if we saw somebody that's, for instance, visibly having difficulty with braking, or they're not doing certain things, or they've got a problem, you could communicate with each other. If you take a track like Brands Hatch, it's very difficult to talk to a driver when you can't, when the track is so busy. You can create as many problems talking in their ear as you can leaving them alone. And we always, that's always one thing to look at. But here we go. Here's the start of race two. It's great to
Here we
see.
go.
And I know we've got a slight change there with, I think Alessio now is in Team Zotac. So we're going to have a good look at that. A lot of changes when you're sitting in Italy. So let's see how he gets on in the Zotac car.
Absolutely. See coming around the first turn. There's the Aldrain car.
I think if we stay with these two, this will be quite good just to see how they handle these corners now, to see what they've learnt from before. Again, a little bit wide, as they see, but only got a little bit out of shape. You saw there. So back again. We got the two drain cars running together, back nose to tail, which is nice. I think whether they have a quick talk with each other between the sessions, you say in the real world, if you're running a two-car team, your drivers will probably sit and confer who had this, who had something else. So I think if we see that going on here in the virtual world, that's not a bad thing. So here we are coming past the start-finish line. We've got one stem car stopped on the start and finish line, and we're just wondering really whether he managed to actually make the start. I think what's interesting with this sometimes is you get the very same things happening in virtual as you do in the real world. And now looking at the track map, really got a big bunch of people here all together. 8 cars, all nose to tail. So it'd be interesting to see how they carry on over these 15 laps in that position.
Absolutely. Coming around that turn, it's going to be a fight for positioning, applying some of that learning as we mentioned.
Now we got interesting now. So we watch Ben in the Transformer car. I think he didn't get the best start, so he's running in about 4th place here now. So we'll see how he handles the overtaking. Hopefully he picks the right spots. Works his way through. He's behind the two Audrain cars here at the moment, and we'll see how his experience plays out here. I mean, I'm sure he's going to help and watch the guys in front a little bit as we come here now. This is coming through clearways, the last corner on the circuit, coming up to the start-finish line. And you saw there, Ben eased back. He didn't try to do anything stupid. He knows on the outside of that corner, if he tried to go around the outside, he'd actually end up in the gravel. So he'll have a bit of patience here. He's looking down the inside. Racing is about patience. Remember, you've got 13 laps here. How do you work your way to the front?
Absolutely. Everyone fighting for some position there.
That was a nice passing move. Respect from the Audrain guys that just didn't close the door on him, didn't try boxing him off the track. Knew he was a bit quicker, let him through. So now Ben will work on the next situation, which is good. He got a lot more speed off that corner, but again, being cautious. Very tricky when you're looking in the mirrors, and you realise something that's coming up behind you is quite quick. Not to make mistakes. We've always said to everybody, try and hold your line. Remember, it's up to the person that's passing's responsibility not to cause an impact. So, good driving techniques here.
Here we can see the transformer car coming around the turn.
Yeah, again, as I said, you can really see from this overhead shot where you've got, let's say you've got a couple of team cars playing. Yeah, this is good. So we've just now got the Zotac car just coming in here. He's doing the same thing. He just had a look down the inside, just taking it easy. Running a little bit wide there. So he'll just take his time. I think Brandon in this one, he'll got a lot of cars in front of him. We're seeing a few people now getting a little bit hard on the brakes. It's managing that braking area, just allowing the car to roll a little bit more, not panic too much. We're going to see an interesting situation here. So Brandon now got a car he's trying to pass, and he's got a car from behind. So Ben's taken a shot there down the inside. He took advantage of that little bit of indecision. Again, that's experience.
You can see the standings here on the right-hand side of the screen.
I think the good thing we've seen now is with that Nelson's had his issue sorted out from the first race. He's running second now, so he's now working himself through in the white transformer car. It'd be interesting to see how he now finds his way up with Ben, who's got a race already behind him. I think if I look at Nelson, I'd probably be wrong to say, I think in real world he probably drove here in Formula Ford when he was about 16 or 17. That's going back a little bit, although he's sort of in his late 20s now. He won't have forgotten the track. The great thing is with Brands Hatch, it hasn't changed much in a lot of years, which is good.
Absolutely. You can see also everyone's definitely taking the curves, taking the turns a bit more conservatively. Here we see the Viva car.
Yeah, the Viva and the American car together there. Both of them running, well. I think looking at the track map a little bit earlier, they're all much closer together. They're actually running very, very well. I think everybody, again, I say, will have learned a lot from the first event. It's still tricky. This is a tricky circuit. Again, I'm excited we put it in. Everybody said, "Whoa, what do we want to go to Brands Hatch for?" This is a global viewing program. So those people who know these tracks in the UK, Brands Hatch is an iconic circuit. Again, one that ran Formula One cars for many years. IndyCar have been here, of course. A few years when they made a couple of trips out of the USA, and I think had a very successful time here at Brands Hatch. A lot of spectators, a great spectator track. You can see 2/3 of the circuit from pretty well everywhere. So really good value for spectators to come to.
Definitely. And we can see as we're coming up just at the halfway mark, some good racing here.
Yeah, we've got five cars. We've got 5 guys, all nose to tail here, all running very close. That's encouraging. It's that's a little bit about what we saw in the first round at Road America. That and we're just getting more cars, more consistent. People learning what they're doing. Yeah, so we've got I think we're on riding on with Don in the other Transformer white car. He's running in second. Ben's worked his way back up into the front.
You can see the stem car in front of him.
I think he's keeping an eye on him. Here as we go, coming back onto the main pit straight. This is always a tricky place. You can catch up here, which he'll do. He'll get close, but he's not far in, really near enough to try and make a pass. He'll wait. He tried a little bit there, but lost some ground. We saw from the first round, Don made a lot of improvements. He's a guy that he's thinking about what's going on. He's thinking how this is working. So he'll pick his moment here, which would be good.
Absolutely. Here we see a great shot coming around that turn.
We're riding with Scott or Zach now in the stem car. I think whoever's in that often tends to keep running way too much on the grass there. That does slow you down. It doesn't help you. We've got Don now, I think, coming up behind here. I think he's probably going to possibly going to lap him, but it'll be interesting to see how close he stays.
He's been trying to make his move.
Yeah. Yeah, here we are again. We're next lap. Don's still sitting behind him. It'll be interesting. So now we're coming up to one of the Audrain cars, I believe, and the American car a little bit wide there. These guys keep at it and watch what's happening. These two are having a little bit of they're forgetting a little bit about racing lines. The American car got a little bit out of shape there, and then he's trying to still race when he's really probably got dirty tires and lost a bit of momentum. Fortunately, stem car's got through. He's clear. No incidents there at all.
Here we see the Audrain car in 4th place.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, they've made a good improvement from the last round. And again, I know the guys don't get a lot of time to practice, which is very key to this type of track. But there, you can see that he's really making a little bit of progress in how the car grips. He's keeping the speed up. So that's tricky. He's but a lot better than a couple of laps before. He's really understanding how difficult that is. You've got to often just go in there slower for the next couple of laps just to work it out, and then you can start pushing again. The cars get very light there. The track falls away from you as you rise the corner, so when you're applying the throttle, the front tire grip's minimal. It's not really good. So that's gone a little bit wide on that corner.
You see the Diva car.
Yeah, this is it. Now we may just see what happened there with the Viva car. Yeah, caught the curb a little bit, lost a little bit of ground. A lot of this will become, I say, concentration. A lot of it's repeatability. They've got to be able to remember from lap to lap to lap where each one maybe caused them a problem, how they can not make that same mistake the next lap, focusing on repeatability. And that is the trick of anything that you do. It's a big learning thing. It's being able to just remember and learn from the mistakes. And that's what we're seeing each time as we go through. And I think it gives people a lot of respect when you look at the professionals who race, when they're running, very close to each other for long periods. It drains the mental approach. It's not the physical some of it, it's mental awareness, and it's how you actually stay focused on what you're doing. Here's the Viva car again. That's in front of a big group behind it, and that's doing a good job. I think one of the Audrain cars is sitting behind him. The other Viva car was sitting, I think, 2 cars back from that, and the stem car behind that. So we've got a nice running group here, all able to look at each other and see what each other's doing. I think Pablo just came through there in the Transformer car, making good progress. Here we have a Viva sandwich with stem in the middle. Let's see if we can escape out of it. A little bit of pressure from teamwork.
Yeah, stem car is trying to get through. There we go.
Oh, euphoria took over. He got by him, and then whoa, next corner. I'm on top of it too quick. And these are all the things that you see as you watch it. It's a bit like mind reading, really. I mean, you can see what's going on. How the pressure takes over, and the ability to look in front of you, look in your mirrors, understand who's behind you. Do you give way to the car passing you, or do you really try and hold your ground and keep your racing line? Really? Yeah. Yeah, it was an odd move there for you. I think it's Pablo here. Must have back of the car I just came out. I mean, we've seen 1 or 2 incidents where people have tapped the back of the car in front. From this type of camera shot, you see that, which is always great when the cameras pan back and you can see what's happening. And even in the real world, we carry cameras on cars today, and I think it's sometimes you can have all the data in the world that you can look at, but an in-car camera or a camera on the nose or a camera pointing backwards can tell you so much about what happened in an incident.
Absolutely.
So we've got Pablo.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we've got Pablo here.
Great shot of the Transformer car there.
Okay, so
there's the stem car trying to make a move. Oh.
Yeah, on the American car. So, there's
a little
3
bit
of
of
them here.
debris.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've got a little bit
there.
Yeah, aggressive, losing concentration. We've. I say all I can see, as I say here, is this track is really testing everybody. It's a very complicated circuit, and sometimes because you can't overtake where you want to, a bit of frustration comes in. So, we're seeing some maneuvers that are, not, I don't think, normal. They're just a little bit of desperation. Here we're seeing the stem car, losing a little bit of line.
Got the all-terrain car that just passed the M car. Here we see the all-terrain car with the STEM car just inching behind it.
I think both of those cars are running in third and fourth place. They're not much further back from first and second. I mean, they're having a good run with each other. I think they both make similar mistakes as each other, which is makes interesting competition. But again, they're all learning from this, and you know, as we've said with STEM, this whole thing. There's so many different platforms now, and this is about learning a lot of different disciplines in life as well as just on the track. And I think now we've still got everybody still running by the looks of it. So we'll see how close the second place car is. A nice shot here of the zone. Black and white, great colours, always looks really good. I think the great colour combinations from the Zotac guys here. You know, obviously we use their equipment in alongside the Forza packaging, and it's been a real plus. I know everybody's really loved working with them.
You can see right on the heels, first place.
Okay.
We can see here the Zotac car just lapped one of the cars there. Coming around the turn here. Here we go. Ninth position. The Viva car. Coming into our final lap here.
Oh, that's great. I think Sydney Jim will be, you know, as the owner of Viva, and has done a pretty good job now in the second race. You know, he's really getting to grips with this. I know he wanted a lot more time to practice, but you know, that again, that's I think the beauty of this. We're seeing, you know, a whole different group of people able to compete and learn from it. And the important thing is they're all making progress, and they've got a lot to talk about, a lot to think about for the following week about how these progress. The next round we go to is Watkins Glen in New York State. It's a combination between here, where we are at Brands Hatch, and Road America. A lot of sweeping high-speed corners, some long straights, very complicated. So really looking forward to the next round.
You ever see the Transformer car?
Yeah, I think he's heading into his last lap now. If we stay with him a little bit longer here, you know, this should be a good example of some good racing lines. You know, letting the car just come out wide a little bit there, not catching the paintwork on the running corners so it doesn't disturb the car. Just coming to the apex there, running down the outside, finding a little bit of the centre of the road there, then coming in nice and tight here, just loosening the car up a little bit here as you come out, getting on the power as early as you can. You've got quite a long straight here. You can gain or lose a lot of time down here, but as you come down into Hawthorne Bend, which we're going into now, this can be a tricky corner if you don't get it right. Exiting it is important.
We see losing a little bit of control there.
Yeah. Again, the rear, we watch the rears go out. It's getting onto the power. I mean, in real terms, these cars are 600 horsepower. So you've got a lot of power. You've got to control the throttle application very carefully, and it's finding that balance. And I think that's one area where everybody's really struggling a little bit with. It's just really how hard they can get onto the throttle. We are coming past the start-finish line again. See how he takes this first corner. Very tricky corner here as it goes down and the car sits into the corner. A lot of weight. Accelerate up the hill. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, here we see 9th place.
Okay.
Great shot of the stem car.
Yeah, and really looked great in yellow. I think yellow cars photographed even in real life so well.
Stem car currently in 10th place.
I mean, both the guys in the stem cars, Scott and Zach. Zach's an SAE graduate, so he's definitely into the automotive side of things. And it's important, I think, to see how these guys are all adapting from different disciplines. But yeah, so we'll interested to see how they've all got on. The America car.
Scratching up the paint a little bit,
Yeah, no, he's there. It's been a bit of a learning curve, I think, for them. It's
as you mentioned in the past, really the learning is getting that dirt in the tires really impacts performance moving forward.
It is, and I mean, it's not, a lot of people say it's easy, I think, for other people to criticize or comment from the outside. Whoa, it's a pretty big hit. That was Joel Steele. So, again, the car has got damage, so, it won't run in a normal world. He came back on the track online when the Viva car came through. He was lucky not to have collected that. So this is all about awareness as well. And this car will have damage, so he's going to be struggling now. And as these tournaments move forward and new games come on, it's so easy to say, "Oh, we'll put accident repair in it," but you still got to go in the pits and have that done.
Definitely. Well, looking at race 2, we saw a bit of a vice versa from our first race. First race, we saw more action, more wider turns. And this round, we saw that action come in the later half of the race. What do you think of the overall performance?
Yeah, I think if we're all at school, I think we everybody collectively got a sort of a 7 out of 10 on the first one. I think we slipped to sort of 5 out of 10 for this one. We have to go back and do a little bit more homework. But generally, again, you can see what's happened here is everybody's tried to push a little bit harder to actually be a little bit more competitive, much like we saw at Road America. But actually, this track will bite you. This doesn't give you that instant feel that you've got the confidence. So I think this is what's going to develop as we move forward. Race 3, let's hope everybody can work it together. I think, as you said, the first half everybody stayed pretty close. The second half, as I think everybody got a bit confident, wanted to pass each other. We had a few more mistakes, but I think pretty well everybody that started finished, and they can move that on to the next round.
Absolutely. Seeing some of the leaderboard kind of shake up and kind of things begin to shape up as we go into the third round, I'm excited to see where things land and how everybody just applies their learnings and really makes the best out of this last and final race.
Yeah,
As
and I
our
think
viewers
as we
see
try to
here,
build this positive a collection, different group of people, it isn't just, as I say, 8, 10 people who race cars. This is a very different way of looking at it, and it's a way of openly commenting. If you were able to go to a driver school, you'd be doing this in real time. We're doing it actually out in the open in front of everybody. So I think that's what this is an interesting exercise from, that we're commenting, making the comments live. And I think the next race, as I say, we saw some issues coming in this. I think the next one will be an interesting one to look at.
absolutely. So I think our drivers are getting ready for the next. We're going to take our next break. So we're excited to be back with you. Stay tuned for more.